Good morning. My name is Vincent Bandermann. I am an instructor with the St. Louis Carpenters Joint Apprenticeship Program, and we are currently participating in our door installations class. Now, within this class, we study the industry standard steps of procedure for installing door openings. This industry standard is well defined within the UBC curriculum for doors and hardware, as well as other reference sources, including the Door and Hardware Institute, the Steel Door Institute, Assa Abloy University, and other manufacturer resources. Now, we are currently following that protocol in that we are instructing upon hang, secure, control, and protect the door opening. This particular lesson falls within that second step of the protocol, being that we are going to secure the door opening. There are many different ways to secure a door opening, but this particular lesson is in regard to mortise locks. Now, we've already previewed the UBC Door and Hardware Manual, as well as information provided by Assa Abloy University. We've already learned about ANSI standards for mortise lock cases. We've studied the function of both cylindrical and mortise lock cases, as well as we've learned about the two different styles of mortise locks. At this point, we're ready to head out into the shop to actually do the installation. But before doing so, I feel it's important that we make a quick preview of the manufacturer instructions for this lock, the manufacturer template for this lock, as well as the lock and its accessory parts. Beyond that, we'll also take a really quick look at this list of information that will be applicable directly to our shop here and the installation that we're going to do. Now back to the beginning, the manufacturer's instructions. All of you should have a copy of this that I have provided to you. And of course there is an English side to this and a Spanish side. Choose your appropriate language. And then quite simply, follow the steps of procedure. Steps of procedure within manufacturer instructions have been well thought out and planned by the manufacturer. It is important to them that you, as the installer, understand their product and its installation to the fullest. When you understand their product and install it correctly, this is a positive thing for their company and their product in the long term. So follow their instructions to the letter. This will guarantee an efficient and correct installation and protect your contractor and customer in that warranty will be honored when you follow manufacturer instructions. Now, beyond those instructions, we also have a manufacturer provided template that I have provided to you. While it is not absolutely necessary that you use this template directly on the door, the measurements and locations of parts are directly noted on here. You can view this as a blueprint if you'd like. Now, when using this template, I would like for you to notice in the bottom right-hand corner that there is a inside preparation chart. And in that chart, you will have to identify the particular lock that you're working with. We're going to find this information on the product box and the label that is located there. And if you look at your box, you will see at the top that this is an L9456. That is the manufacturer code for this particular lock. And if you refer to your mortise lock template in that chart I just pointed out in the bottom right-hand corner, you will find your 9456 lock listed there, and all of the hole preparations that are required will be noted within that preparation chart. Now, I expect, as part of this learning process, that you will be able to read and decipher the information that's provided there. Also, within this template, you will find the preparations for the outside of the door in the bottom left-hand corner. You will again use the L9456 code to decipher which hole preparations will have to be made on the outside of the door. Once you have made these determinations on which is the applicable holes and preparations that need to be made on the door, I highly recommend that you use a highlighter to highlight that information throughout this template. Feel free, as we are out in the shop, feel free to approach me, ask me any questions that you might have. That's why I'm there. And once you're confident that you have all of the appropriate lines and holes marked on your template, you will begin the process required to lay out, prepare, and install this lock. So let's take a look at the steps that you'll need to follow once we get into the shop. I have this listed out over here on this side of the board written in blue. So the first thing that we're going to need to do when we get out there is we're going to have to locate our toolboxes. I'll unlock the big gang box, and each box that's located in there is numbered per the door opening that you have already been assigned. You will then, after getting your toolbox, you will have to go to the big tool cage and get drills and bits, as I will provide to you. At that point, once you return to your door opening with tools and drills and bits, you're ready to begin to prep the door. You will do so by covering vital areas with blue tape, as we already discussed during the cylindrical lock installation. You've already practiced at this. And you will begin to lay out using pencil, tape measure, square, and the other tools that are indicated on your required tool list. You will use these instruments to do a precise layout on the door based off of the information from your template. When you are complete with your layout, find me. Instructor evaluation. I'm going to come over and I'm going to take a look at the layouts that you have on your door. We want to make sure that you are correct and accurate in your layouts before we begin to drill or mortise the door at all. We're going to call this like a double check phase. It's very important. Next, we're going to be using our door mortiser. If you notice here, I've got a special note on safety. We already talked about the door mortiser. We know about shop safety, hard hat, safety glasses, boots, and the specific steps of safety procedure for our mortiser. And we will review that out in the shop when we get the mortiser out. After that, we have to switch over to our router with our faceplate template. Again, I've made a special note on safety. We've already covered router use and router safety. We'll go over it again briefly when we get out in the shop and you're ready to use it. After we've mortised our door and completed our lock face template, we're going to move on to actually prepping the door. And what I mean by prepping the door is that we're going to use our drill and drill bits to drill all the necessary holes per our layout. Once you've completed that, come find me. I want to come take a look at it again. Because you're at a critical point here where you've mortised the door, you've routed the door, you've drilled the holes, and you're ready to do your installation. So let's just get together and make sure that you're ready for the installation. After that, you will assemble the lock and install. This is where you're going to refer back to manufacturer instructions, step by step by step. Efficient, accurate, guaranteeing the warranty for your customer. And finally, once you've completed the installation, you've got the entire unit assembled, it's working, it's great. I want you to take a look at the grading rubric that I provided for you in the white binder. You've already used the rubric during the hang process and while we did the cylindrical lock installation. I ask that you use the rubric again. There are certain standards and expectations, both here in the shop, out in the field, in regard to the installation of these locks. And this can be a very precise and accurate process. So to avoid a bad grade or a bad install, have a look at the rubric. That way you know what is expected. No surprises when I come along to grade it. If you have any questions during any of this process, please come find me and we'll work it out. Let's go.